Hey guys, so I bought this thing on Copart, and as you can see, it has this damage. Not a huge deal. I already bought this bar right here. Gonna have to get that replaced, and then I'll have to pull out this frame and kind of, work this stuff out. But overall, it is not terrible. I decided to take the cab off because I figured might as well, since I'm rebuilding it. I'm planning to keep this thing and kind of, do some modifications on it that I'll document on this YouTube channel. And I figured might as well clean up these common areas that rust and, give the frame a fresh coat of paint. And at the same time, rebuild the engine. Not fully, just gaskets, head gasket, valve, oil pan gasket. Maybe throw in a new chain, go through the basics, replace these hoses and stuff. I don't want to, take it to Moab and have issues. I'm about 17 hours from Moab. I don't want to have issues with cooling, and I'm going to buy some nicer radiators and fans and stuff like that. So yeah, I'll try to document as much as I can. It's kind of hard. I only got so much time. I have a couple businesses that I run, and it's hard to keep up with all the YouTube videos, but I'll do my best. I know I kind of dropped a few projects on this channel in the past, but I'll try to do my best on this one. And also my Can-Am, which is right there. I'm going to be installing a Hess steering stabilizer here shortly onto it, because it has a lot of play in the steering. But yeah, right now I'm going to shoot the engine and transmission with some degreaser and pull it outside and pressure wash the entire frame, get it cleaned up as best as I can, and then I'll pull the engine off and start tearing it down, replacing the head gasket, valve cover gasket, and all that stuff. So yeah, stay tuned. So I didn't really videotape pulling the cab off, but I guess I could kind of explain what all is involved. It took me about an hour to take the front clip off. That's two fenders and the radiators, as you can see right here, all in one piece. That's these 4 bolts from the inner fender, and then these 4 bolts on both sides, and then you basically undo the radiators and the harnesses, and yeah, it just comes off. You undo the fuse box and it all stays on. And then it took me, we were running out of time on Friday, so we were kind of rushed. It took us about 40 minutes to take the cab off. Basically, it's these mounts, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We almost missed this one. And then the fuel cap, fuel neck, right there, 4 screws. Take the cap off and it just pushes down through the cab. The e-brake, just 2 bolts right there, and then the cable pushes through that hole. Mine's an automatic, so the shifter goes through here and attaches to right here. This just pops off. And then also the transfer case shifter. We forgot about this one, and I don't know, I think I broke something, so I'm gonna have to figure out how this comes back together. And these harnesses, these 2 and these 2 go into the PCM. Let's see if I'm forgetting anything. think. Oh, also this needs to be undone from the fuse box, because might as well leave it on because it goes to the starter. Goes to the grounds right there and goes to the alternator, so it's easier to just undo it from the fuse box. And yeah, that was it. So right now I'm kind of taping up the connectors and any vacuum lines. I put a glove over this hole. Anything that water shouldn't be going into, I'll tape this up as well. Go through and tape everything up and degrease it and pressure wash it. Cleaned up as best I could. The pressure washer just could not take that 20-year-old grease and grime off of this transmission or the engine, so I'll just have to clean it later. Alright, now I'm going to start pulling the engine out. I'm going to start with the drive shafts and then probably move on to the exhaust system and then the rest. Move on to the front one. Alright, so I was about to take the front drive shaft off and I noticed quite a bit of play in this. And as you can see, my front axle U-joints are ruined. This one is not as bad as the passenger side one. So I'm gonna go ahead and change all the U-joints on this thing. I do not want to, go off-roading and have issues, even though these ones seem tight. What do you guys think, or should I just leave these? They all seem tight, but I think might as well replace them. That would suck going to Moab and then breaking a U-joint or something like that. Might as well go through and replace them. Alright, I got the front drive shaft off. I always like to just put the bolts back into the spot instead of labeling a bunch of bolts in an organizer. I got the caps back in there as well with the bolts. So off to the exhaust. I'm gonna should have done this earlier, but I'm gonna go through and shoot some PB Blaster or WD-40 on these bolts. That way I don't break anything. muffler off, the exhaust system. I just unscrewed these brackets and split it right behind the first O2 sensor. And then once everything was out, this just slid forward and then just kind of wiggled it out from that opening right there. Now all that's left is motor mounts and wiring. Got this wire going back there, and I think that's about it. Alright, so before I pull the engine off, I think I might as well pull off some of these accessories. Power steering, alternator, maybe intake, wiring and stuff. I mean, it's fairly comfortable right here, so I'll go ahead and get that started right now. I think that's it for this video. It's kind of getting late here. Got the manifolds off. Got the engine pretty well stripped down. Just a few things on it. Next video I'll be pulling the engine out and rebuilding, well, not rebuilding, but changing out the head gasket, basically all of the gaskets, including the rear main seal. As far as I know, that's kind of a tricky one on this particular engine. It's not a traditional rear main seal. Also, I don't know, I might do something here as well. I just do not like oil leaks. Like, do any of you have experience with this? Is this the transmission leaking or is it the engine leaking? Comment down below if you know what it is. It's hard to say, because it could have been all just kind of leaking onto the transmission. Overnight there was a puddle of oil about 2 inches in diameter, so yeah, I think that's it for this video. Like and subscribe. Stay tuned for the next one. Thanks for watching.